When it comes to sportswear and apparel, Nike's probably one of the most popular brands that we can think of. However, there are very few people who know the story behind the brand and how it became so successful. So today in this video we'll be taking a look at the Nike story. Welcome to our channel. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update on the latest business stories. The success of Nike is difficult to be overstated. It is the most valuable sports brand globally, has the highest revenue among apparel companies, and its logo is instantly recognizable all over the world. But it wasn't always like this for the company. In fact, in the early days, Nike was close to bankruptcy with mounting debts and no clear way out of the financial hole they had been dug into. So, without further ado, let's begin our story about Nike. The story of Nike begins in 1964, when two track athletes from the University of Oregon, named Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman, began importing Japanese shoes to the United States. At the time, the shoes were better than what American companies could produce, but their marketing and distribution networks were non-existent in the US, and that's where Knight and Bowman saw an opportunity. They set up a company called Nike International Limited and began selling the shoes through local retailers on the West Coast. Their first year in business, they sold around 500 pairs of shoes and made about $500 in profit. While the business was small, both men knew they were onto something big because by 1966, they had expanded their product line beyond running shoes to include basketball and tennis shoes as well. By 1967, their annual sales reached $1 million, which meant it was time to think about scaling up production. So the partners set out to find a manufacturer for their new venture. They ended up working with a small factory in Korea that was owned by a man named Yoon, who would become known as the Shoe Magician. Under his leadership, Nike's shoes became known for their quality and durability, which helped fuel the company's rapid growth throughout the late 60s and into the 70s. With that being said, back in 1971, one of the company's co-founders, Phil Knight, decided it was time for them to take their business to the next level. So he went in search of investors who could help them expand beyond just selling other companies' products and start creating their own line of footwear as well. After meeting with several potential investors, Knight eventually found what he was looking for when three of them agreed to invest $500,000 into the company in exchange for 50% ownership. With the funding secured, Knight and Bowerman wasted no time in getting started on what would become the Nike brand. They hired a team of designers and began developing their first shoe. Their goal was to create a shoe that was lighter, more flexible, and more comfortable than any other shoe on the market. They wanted something that would give runners an edge when competing against other athletes. After months of research and development, they finally had it, the Nike Cortez. The shoe was an instant hit with customers, and Nike was on its way to becoming one of America's most popular shoe brands. However, Knight knew that if he wanted Nike to continue growing, he needed to do something bold. He wanted to take the company public and raise money by selling shares of the company on the stock market. This is a bold move because it allowed anyone to buy a small piece of Nike. This move paid off big time as Nike's IPO was one of the most successful of all time. On its first day of trading, Nike's stock price shot up by 82%. This gave the company enough cash to expand its operations and product lines, which helped fuel even more growth in the years that followed. Throughout the 80s and 90s, Nike continued to innovate and grow. They introduced new technologies that improved the performance of their shoes. They also signed big-name athletes like Michael Jordan and Bo Jackson to endorsement deals that helped boost their popularity even higher. By the end of the 20th century, Nike had become one of the most valuable brands in the world. But as the new millennium approached, the company began to face challenges it had never seen before. One of the biggest challenges that Nike faced during this time was a lawsuit filed by one of its former employees. The employee alleged that she had been sexually harassed by her manager and that Nike had done nothing to stop it. This case quickly became a media sensation, and many people began boycotting Nike products in protest, what they perceived as the company's mistreatment of women. To make matters worse, a group of activists launched a smear campaign against the company, accusing it of exploiting workers in developing countries. All of this bad publicity put a dent in Nike's reputation and sales. In response, Nike took several steps to try to repair its image. They launched an investigation into the allegations of sexual harassment and took swift action to punish those responsible. They also began working with non-governmental organizations to improve working conditions in the factories where their products were made. These efforts seemed to be paying off as Nike's reputation slowly began to recover. But then in 2016, the company was hit with another major scandal. A report published by the New York Times detailed how a former employee had stolen trade secrets from Nike and given them to a Chinese company. This resulted in the Chinese company being able to copy some of Nike's most popular designs and bring them to market at a lower price. This was a huge blow to Nike, but the company responded quickly. They worked with the FBI to shut down the Chinese company, and then invested heavily in research and development to come up with new ways to protect their designs. Despite these setbacks, Nike has continued to be one of the most successful clothing brands in the world. As of 2021, they have a market cap of over $130 billion, making them the largest apparel company in the world. They have a wide range of products, including shoes, apparel, and equipment for various sports. Nike also owns several other popular brands, including Converse, Hurley, and Golf. Nike has a strong presence in the global marketplace, with products sold in over 170 countries. They have a loyal customer base that includes athletes, coaches, and anyone who loves to stay active. So how did Nike become such a successful brand? First, Nike has a long history of innovation. Since the company's inception, they've been constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible in athletic wear. From the Cortez to the Air Jordan line, Nike has released countless products that have changed the way we think about sport. Second, Nike has built a strong brand identity. Their logo is one of the most recognizable in the world, and their slogan, "Just Do It," is a call to action that inspires people to push themselves harder. Third, Nike has a great marketing strategy. They target athletes and anyone who wants to live an active lifestyle, and they use big-name athletes like LeBron James and Serena Williams to promote their product. Finally, Nike has a strong commitment to quality. Their products are designed to last, and they stand behind them with a satisfaction guarantee. This commitment to quality has earned the company a loyal customer base that trusts the brand and feels confident in its products. In conclusion, Nike is a great example of a company that has achieved success through innovation, branding, marketing, and quality. If you're an entrepreneur, you can learn from Nike's approach and apply it to your business. You may just see your company become the next Nike. We hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update on the latest business stories. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.